This is a Sports Catastrophe production. Hey there, Heather Ho there. It's Jeff Cutter Diamond welcoming you to another Sports Catastrophe birthday boy. And the birthday boy for today, December the 6th, is an Australian soccer legend. I know you're thinking Australian soccer don't really mix, but it does. I mean, this guy is an attacking midfielder slash striker, box-to-box midfielder, known for his powerful approach and ability to hit the ball in the penalty area. He scored 50 goals for Australia between 2004 and 2018, one of the greatest, if not the greatest, Australian player of all time. He works as a pundit for BBC Sport and Sky Sports. It was just shocking how he would leave Australia for England, and people don't think Australians are good at stuff. But he has played many years in the Premier League and done pretty well for himself. He actually became the first Australian to score at a World Cup. After Australia got shut out of the 1974 World Cup, without scoring a goal. In 2006, he did. He scored in 3 World Cups for Australia. And all that. He's known for his vertical leap and his goal celebration of shadow boxing around the corner flag. His name is Tim Cahill, who's now 45 years old. He was born in the powerful city of Sydney, Australia. Not the capital of Australia. That's what people mistake. It's Canberra. That's the capital. But anyway, he's the 3rd child out of 4. His father is of English and Irish descent, and his mother actually had Samoan ancestry and was born in Samoa. Yeah, so basically they moved from house to house because of financial problems. He had a passion for the sport at an early age of soccer and watched Premier League games on TV with his father, who was a West Ham fan. All that. So anyway, he had a perfectionist personality and all that. He said his biggest influence came from his maternal grandmother, Asopa, who taught him the Samoan culture and beliefs of discipline, hard work, and perseverance. So yeah, he would go through high school and all that. They said that he was too small at 5'10" to be a good soccer player. But it inspired him to do more. So then he played at Sydney United. And then the Cahill family had options because he had relatives in England. Cahill's parents offered him an opportunity to move to England to pursue a soccer career. Anyway, he accepted, and his parents took a $10,000 loan to pay for a trip. But that actually made his family nearly broke and forced his older brother to stop playing soccer and work full-time as a mechanic to repay the debt. Nevertheless, he was signed on a free transfer from Sydney United to Millwall, the club which Josh Circa from the Sidemen sponsors. Anyhow, he made his Millwall debut against Bournemouth in May of 1998 and got Millwall to the league trophy final, losing to Wigan. I think it's a trophy for the clubs in like the 2nd and 3rd tier. Like they're not Premier League squads. Regardless of that, Millwall shattered a record in the 2nd division, getting 93 points in the 2001 season. So anyhow, well, I believe that's the 3rd division. Well, yeah, Football League 2nd division, because Football League Championship is the 2nd tier in English squad. It's England. So he tried to get Millwall through and all that. But Millwall did pull off a massive job making it to the 2004 FA Cup, where teams didn't think that they were going to do so well. Millwall actually went through. Well, started in round 3, beating Walsall 2-1, Telford United 2-0, Barnsley 1-0, beating Tranmere Rovers on a replay, and even beat Sunderland. They actually didn't meet any Premier League club along the way, which was shocking. They would, of course, take on the Red Devils, my team. And Millwall lost 3-0. But nevertheless, they got to the final, which was a piece of work that's in itself. Yeah, he was the guy who scored against Sunderland. Cahill was to get them to the FA Cup final and got them to the UEFA Cup. He made 249 appearances for Millwall, scoring 56 goals. But then, before the start of the 2004 season, 05 season, Cahill was transferred to Everton for 1.5 million British pounds. Crystal Palace almost took him away from Millwall, and they were South East London rivals. But he went to Everton and was Everton's top goal scorer. He made an impact in all of that. Everton faced Millwall in the third round of the FA Cup in 2006. And Cahill scored the winning goal for Everton, but he did not want to celebrate his winning goal. Good on him. Anyway, he would miss much of the 2007 season because of injuries. He came back from injury in the 07-08 season. Got Everton to the League Cup quarterfinal and all that. He was employed as a makeshift forward during December 2008 when all four of their senior strikers were hurt. Nevertheless, he scored a late equalizer in the Everton-Liverpool match, or what they call the Merseyside Derby, becoming the first player for Everton to score in 3 Anfield derbies since Dixie Dean way back then. So Cahill knew what he could do and all of that. He scored 50th goal for Everton against Carlisle United in the third round of the FA Cup in 2010. Yeah, anyway. So, things looked big and all that. He was pretty good for Everton, making over 200 appearances for the squad and 50 Premier League goals. After a goal against Man City December 2010, he couldn't score until January 2012. So that was just shocking, all that. Cahill spent 8 years with Everton and then signed in America for Major League Soccer's New York Red Bulls. He did at one time have the fastest goal in MLS history from the start of a game when he scored 8 seconds into the game for the Red Bulls against Houston. But it's replaced by Mike Grella. Anyway, after a few years, he left the Red Bulls by mutual agreement and went to Shanghai to play. And went to the Chinese FA Cup final, which they lost to Jiangsu. And he was terminated by Shanghai by mutual agreement. Then he went to another Chinese club, Hangzhou Greentown. But Cahill decided to move back to Australia for his family in 2016. So he went to Melbourne City, signing a 3-year deal with the A-League, or Australian League club. He would play 2 years and then take on a coaching job and all that. Cahill helped Melbourne City win the A-League Cup, well, the League Cup against Sydney FC. He was supposed to substitute against Melbourne February 2017, but was sent off for using insulting language towards the match official after he was mad that Melbourne scored a controversial goal. Yeah. Cahill decided to leave Melbourne after not getting enough time, but he wanted to boost his chances to be selected for Australia in the 2018 World Cup. So he decided to rejoin Millwall, who were in the second division. Well, he played 10 games for Millwall, which actually made him spend more time with Millwall than Everton. Then he decided to sign with an Indian Super League. And he decided to announce his retirement from football in 2019. He actually took part in a youth championship for Western Samoa. Oh, which Tucker Strange's Samoa. Anyway, Cahill actually received an offer to play for Ireland at the 2002 World Cup because, you know, his Irish grandparents. However, Cahill could not be eligible because he was cap tied to Samoa. FIFA then changed its eligibility rules in 2003, allowing players capped at junior levels to switch international legions. Cahill had 4 options to play senior football for a nation and all that. He chose Australia over England, Ireland, and Samoa. Personally, I would have went with Ireland. Regardless of that, he made his debut for Australia and helped them in the 2004 Olympic Games. And then he made his competitive debut for Australia at the Nations Cup, the Oceania Nations Cup. Australia won the competition, and then they would have to have the automatic playoff match against one of the lower ranked South American teams, and it was Uruguay. And Australia shocked Uruguay after a penalty shootout. And for the first time in 3 decades, Australia was going to the World Cup. And it was just amazing. And all that. Australia lost to Iraq in the quarterfinals of the Summer Olympics, which was shocking. Cahill was part of the 2005 Confederations Cup, you know, the top teams from each of the 6 continents. But the Socceroos couldn't beat Argentina, Germany, and even Tunisia. In 2006, he played in the World Cup for them and actually scored against Japan, the first goal in Australian World Cup history. He scored a second goal against the Japanese and was named man of the match. Cahill helped Australia get to the round of 16 when they lost to Italy 1-0 on a controversial penalty in the 90th minute. Danny was instrumental in Australia winning the chance to go to the 2010 World Cup, scoring goals in key matches against Qatar and Japan when Australia moved to the Asian League, went to Asia football instead of the Oceania football thing. Cahill got a red card against Germany in the first match of 2010, which meant he had to miss the next game against Ghana. He played against Serbia, scoring a goal, but Australia did not move on. 2014, Australia made it to the World Cup and beat Chile, faced Chile, and scored a key goal against the Dutch, even though they lost 3-2. Cahill's goal was supposed to be the best World Cup goal of 2014. Unfortunately, Jaime Rodriguez and his massive volley against Uruguay for Colombia was much better. Anyway, he started in a big match against Honduras in the playoffs to get Australia to the 2018 World Cup. He made only 1 appearance for that team, coming off the bench against Peru in that 2-0 loss. He retired with 50 goals, which is still the Australian record. International record. In 108 games, second highest, only behind Mark Schwarzer, the goalie. Cahill has been a cover star on several editions of the game in the Australia area. He married his childhood sweetheart in Las Vegas, having 4 children: Kaya, Shay, Sienna, and Cruz. Kaya plays for the Samoan national team, and Shay Cahill plays for Nottingham Forest. So for Millwall, Everton, Red Bulls, Shanghai, Hangzhou, Melbourne City, and yes, Jamshedpur in India. He had 171 goals in 705 appearances, 50 goals in 108 international appearances for Australia. So anyway, he helped Millwall win the 3rd division in 2001. FA Cup runner-up in 2004, League Trophy runner-up in 99, FA Cup runner-up for Everton in 2009, winning a couple of domestic things and all that. He's a legend for being in Australia. So Aussie, 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 oi, oi, oi. That's how I will remember him. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. I do.